Is everybody back on? If you can't hear me, speak up now. Okay, well, I need a motion to come out of executive session
I so move.
Second.
with no
No action taken.
motion been made and seconded to come out of executive session with no action taken. All those in favor, Kyle,
Aye.
Lauren,
Aye.
Lena,
Aye.
Barbara,
Aye.
Cody, aye. All right, that's taken care of. Agenda, we don't need to amend the agenda. Minutes from the April regular board meeting.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the minutes from the April board meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Nope.
Signed. I'm tired of signing stuff. All right, any public comment? Anybody on? Skylar, Casey, Janice? Anybody want to say anything? For now, for,
No, sir.
okay,
Can I make a public comment?
yes, you can. You
Okay,
can do
this is
anything
gonna be
you want
quick.
to.
Vicky, I wanted to tell you, Margie Taylor says hi. And that is all.
Wait, you're
No,
so,
she's muted.
somebody's muted.
Oh, she said she can't hear.
Oh.
Did it so bad?
Is that, did you read her lips? Margie Taylor. Oh,
Can you hear us, Vicky?
No.
You can hear us, so I don't think it was us. Might be.
Is it on?
She got her Bluetooth attached.
See, that happened to me when I called in. I lost the other day.
Casey, you can hear us though?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. I just pick on you because. Just cause. Make sure
You're
you're
allowed to,
really,
Cody.
make sure you're really listening and not just have us on there.
Potty comments of the last meeting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, Kyle. She didn't get her phone muted and Poppy needed to go potty.
Oh, I heard.
So did we.
I heard.
We're waiting on
Vicky to.
Vicky to call back or come back in.
Aubrey.
Margie Taylor, that sounds familiar. Who is she?
Farm Bureau.
She's from here. Formerly Plant. Formerly Plant, yeah, so Margaret Plant, but Margie Taylor, yeah.
Yeah.
But here, I don't think that is.
I think it was originally built in to coordinate who's gonna.
I would have a fear of doing that.
The ticket takers.
Ticket time.
Originally built in, but.
Can you hear us, Vicky? Okay, you're, okay.
Okay, so
Maybe a
Vicky,
good buffer.
Okay.
Yes.
Margie Taylor,
Because.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Margie Taylor says hi. That's what I wanted to
Oh.
tell you.
I haven't seen Margie in forever.
Yeah, she called the school and we had a little conversation and she said hello, I think in September.
All right, action items, discussion of possible action to move regular board meeting dates. We had this discussion last time because I have a hard time getting stuff. Vicky has a hard time getting everything, why we're getting ours, so put it on the third week.
That.
Is that what you guys have, the third week?
Is,
Is that what Vicky wants?
I think she said that would be
The
better.
third week would be so much better. Yes. Payroll would
Okay.
be completely done.
The fourth week, is that a problem or is the third week the best?
The fourth week's not a problem at all. It doesn't matter. The third or the fourth would be totally fine with me.
Yeah, but the fourth, aren't you getting ready for the payroll on the fifth?
Let's let me just take a look at a calendar. Yeah, in general, yes, you're right. I mean, I am starting to get ready for that.
I make the motion to move our regular school board meeting date to the
Oh,
third,
wait.
sorry,
In May, it has already been set to have National Honor Society on your board meeting on the 13th. So if we could
Try to
make it happen in June, that would be beneficial.
Okay,
Starting in June.
okay.
Okay, so is that all right with you, Vicky, to move, to start in June? Okay,
Yes.
All right, I don't think I have to amend my motion because nothing has happened, so let me start over. I make the motion to move our regular school board meetings to the third Wednesday of every month to commence at the June board meeting.
a second.
Motion been made and seconded to move the regular board meeting from the second Wednesday to the third Wednesday, starting in June. All those in favor?
All right,
All those opposed? Pass. Discussion and approval of the District K-12 math curriculum.
So from K through 12, they've decided to go with Savvis. That seemed to be the best fit all the way up and seemed to be kind of the most comprehensive program. We did have some questions about the high school on those pathways that they're going to require. And the College and Career Readiness Bureau, who's kind of in charge of some of those pathways, reached back out and said that if we do the integrated version of high school math, that would suffice because we only have one math teacher and they can't teach multiple pathways. And so that integrated will work for that. As of now, we know PED likes to change their mind. So we're going to go with the integrated in the high school. However, we don't want that to hinder our current sophomores or current freshmen when they take the SAT. So they'll kind of be on a little bit of a lag of going into that integrated version of math in order to support their SAT goals. They'll stay kind of on the traditional pathway for the next couple years. And we'll move forward with that integrated, which means that they'll get a little bit of exposure to Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2 at all grade levels, and it'll just kind of build on itself, getting
Which one was, so that, what's the company?
Savvis,
Savvis. I know what that is.
SAVVAS. It's Envisions.
Who's the high school math teacher? Yeah.
Mrs. Towns. And then we're looking potentially to expand that middle school
Excuse me.
math teacher. The middle school math teacher. So. And then.
Okay, I need a motion.
approve the District K-12 math curriculum Savvis for the coming school year.
I need a second. Motion been made and seconded to approve the K-12 math curriculum, and we're gonna go with Savvis. All those in favor?
I,
All those opposed, same sign. All right, approval of the Y 26-27 school calendar per budget requirements.
So, Mr. President, can I ask a question on that?
Good. Oh, yes.
It's not gonna change anything, but so based on, we're doing a new curriculum and then we have those that are going to gradually come into it. So is that a monetary lift? And if so, having the two, is that in the budget?
Can you clarify for me, like,
So having the two different curriculums or having several grades that are gonna be doing something a little different, if I understood correctly?
what she's built this year that she's teaching them anyways is
Okay,
is kind of modeled after, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
So we can just continue to use the resources that she has. It wouldn't be
Okay.
a purchase of a new,
okay, got it.
sorry.
You're good.
Okay, now to the calendar. Any questions on the calendar?
It did change by adding a day for staff members. And so Amanda and I got together, we created 3 mock calendars, sent it out to all staff and gathered their input on what they thought would be best. And the majority vote was option A. And so that's what you're seeing here. They really wanted to start.
That later.
Yeah.
Well,
making
because
sure
we got a
don't
lot of show,
fair.
we got a lot of show families, so, I mean, and that are staff members.
Yeah, it was rough this year.
And then really in favor of having that full week off for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
And so we do also have days in there, like if there's a Monday holiday or like Tuesday for voting day, we come that Friday. Those are the only Fridays that we come. And then-
2,
I think there's three.
Three.
We did skip Labor Day weekend. It would be just the first week, the week in January, and then the week in November.
Alina, one thing we did talk about in January, that the staff deal on the 31st of July should be on the 30th.
So July.
It's in August of their,
Oh, okay.
So it should be the
it
30th.
should be the 30th instead of the,
Oh, okay.
and it'll be on the final one that you send out.
Yes. And then also based off of what the leadership team and the staff wanted, we've also included PLC days to really focus on our curriculum, progress monitoring, how we're best supporting students, really analyzing data. So pretty much I think it's all but 2, maybe 3 months that we have PLC. So students will leave at 1:45 that day for all teachers together and meet.
For an idiot like me, explain PLC.
A professional learning community.
Okay.
But even then,
Community.
that's still, the teachers all get together, they bring all their data, and then we all look at it and say, this student is doing phenomenal in these areas, they should be in this group, the students, needs a little bit of support, they should go in this group, and how we can best support each other.
And this was if the staff and teachers like it, I'm good. And this is what they're recommending, but this was the cheaper calendar when the options were shared the other day, correct?
Yes.
A, B, and C. Okay.
I preferred the expensive.
Okay.
This one added 1 day to the calendar from last year for staff.
Okay.
So it was
Okay.
affordable.
Okay.
Affordable.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of money can we pay for this?
Didn't even think about that. Can we keep the lights on that extra day?
Somewhere we'll have it, things crash.
Yeah, it'll be-
No internet.
It'll be summertime, so it'll be warm the last days. You won't need any lights on. You can go outside.
We'll turn the heaters on October 15th.
I'm always cold. I had
No.
a heater on yesterday.
And she still had, that's the way it is, coming to work in the morning at, gotta be there at 6. It's the heater on in the morning and air conditioner in the afternoon.
I moved to the 26-27 school calendar for budget requirements as presented.
I second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the school calendar for 26-27 with the budget requirements. All those in favor?
I
All those opposed? That one passed. Approval of the following application budgets for Y 25-26.
And so this is our unified application. So they were actually all 3 combined in previous years. They have been separate, and this year they were all 3 combined. And so for Title I, we were allocated $39,990.30. And this is for partial coverage for EA salary and benefits, intervention programs. Vicki and I sat down and went over the UA on the money side of it. Title IV, we were allocated $10,000 specifically for well-rounded education. They offer like 3 different sections, but we were just allocated $10,000 for well-rounded education. And we're going to use that for our CTE, STEAM programming and supplies. And then our Idea B, I'm drawing a blank. Our is it MOE, Vicki, what's the verbiage that they use on that for the 283,000?
No, that's not MOE. MOE comes out of your operations. This is the allocation under the federal, which would be supplemental to, let me get into,
So
I can get into OBMS and tell you more about it. Just a minute.
Are you gonna bar these in on the next meeting or?
Actually, what will happen now is they will generate automatically in the budget side once the application is approved. So everything's done through OBMS now. There's a new module in there where we have to actually do the application, then once that's approved, then the budget side populates based on, and we have to go in and basically match the budget side to what was in the application.
Okay.
So you will not see them again as a bar unless we have carryover that they give us.
Right.
Okay, any other questions? Can we approve those? Do we have to approve them one at a time, or? Guess it's all.
You can approve them as one.
Need a motion, please.
I make the motion to approve the applications / budget for the 25-26 school year for Title I, Title IV, and IDEA, Idea B. Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the application for and budgets for the school year 25-26 of Title I, Title IV, and Idea B. All those in favor?
Okay.
All opposed? All right, discussion and approval of budget. For state requirements. We got her. She's going.
So
Finally.
I'll hopefully can you see the
My sheet.
budget?
I can see when you gave us. I printed up one.
Okay, you can't see the one I shared on the screen?
Barely.
Barely? Okay, let me see if I can make it bigger for
Yeah,
everyone
we'll-
else. Whoa! Let me back that baby up a little bit. Okay. Just so that it's recorded also with the meeting. So the requirement is that the operating budget be approved because everything else generally runs through real specific applications like you just saw with the Title I, Title IV, Idea B. And we have not received things like our transportation allocation, our food service allocation. We don't have those yet. And so what I'm going to show you tonight is just the operating and wind farm, because that's something that I know we need to, the state's not managing that or looking at that the way they do the other funds. And so I brought both of those, I'm bringing both of those before you. So what I did is I did a final, through the first week of April, a final expense report projected out to make sure that my numbers were still right. It is a little bit higher. I'm thinking that's because of the additional, I know it's because we have the additional staff that didn't come on until December. And so I'm estimating now that we'll end at about $3.2 million in terms of our expenses for this year. Not this year, about $3 million for our expenses this year. When I annualize that and I put a percentage increase of about 2%, and then adjusting for some of the things I knew for sure, like staffing, the additional day, those kinds of things. I accounted for all of that in projecting what we'll need in operations for next year. What did change that I want to point out is that right now, because our 120 day had not been finalized until last week, PED is just estimating right now that our SEG will be a little over $3 million. When I did the budget review at the last meeting, I thought it was going to be using their tool, 3.2 million. So we're about $200,000 off, but I can't tell you that this is a good number yet until they issue our initial 910B5. This is just a rough estimate that my budget analyst put in for me to do an estimate on. So I'll update you as soon as that initial 910B5 is generated, which should be any day now. Randa, when did the 120 day get finalized and that one correction on that student get taken care of?
On Monday.
On Monday. So it's probably going to be Monday of next week, Tuesday of next week before I get an actual 910B5 for next year based on the 120 day. So I think it's smart for us just to go with the lower number that they are currently saying I should budget with our estimated, well, with our cash carryover, what I'm estimating with cash carryover and the SEG that they've budgeted for us right now, I'm expecting about $3.3 million. And we'll have expenses of right around that, about 3.2 million. Does not leave us a lot of cash, and it does require us to use some cash carryover to meet the budget this year. I'm also really hopeful. I have not received my risk bill yet. I know, Barb, you asked about that. I still don't know what that is. I have estimated it very high. I'm hoping I've overestimated it, and that we will not see the $10,000. I think I did a $15,000 increase on it that I was expecting, because I don't have any information on that. So we are within budget. We are using some cash carryover. I do think I've overprojected in some areas just to ensure that we had line items in the right places. This is the summarized by function. I also provided, this is a lot more, but I provided it broken down. All of these, starting with the 5 1s through the 5 2s, are, these are all salaries related to 1,000, which is our direct instruction, our staff. When I look at our FTEs, we have a total FTE of 25 with all the different positions. 18 of those are direct instruction positions. So that's between teachers and the educational assistants that we have. So I broke them down by each function. This is the student support. This is student instructional support, student support, which are like your health services and that sort of thing. And I wanted you to see them by the object and how they were broken out as well. I won't go into them in detail unless you guys have questions about them. But I did project them out for by line item as well. And also by job code, but I didn't give you that detail, but I have that ready for OBMS when I have to do that.
This is helpful. In the future, I was thinking of this when we went over this last meeting. If you could, is this an Excel file, or is this just right out of the software?
It is, in fact, I can show you, this is actually a pivot table from an Excel. Okay. So yes, I did a pivot from the data. I don't know if you can see the data. It's pretty small, but it's the master data lives here. Yes. Yep. Okay. And then I pivoted it out.
Could you build into your pivot table in the future? If we could just have a category wherever a category label when it changes. Oh, sure. That would be helpful for me. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yep. Yeah, I can definitely do that. In fact, I can do that for the next board meeting, just so that you have that and you can see what the category labels are. That would be great. Thank you. Sure. Absolutely. I know I speak a different language. I'm like trilingual, so I apologize. I will, yes, definitely have those categories in there for you.
We don't have anybody in the 2100 function, and there's no salaries there.
Not in 2100. There's contract services. I believe some of what the REC does for the district live here. So we do have people that are paid there, but they're not our people.
There's no salaries. See, there's no 51s. Okay, thank you.
And then when we go and we look at wind, let me just switch over to that one again. I will definitely add those descriptors to it. But wind, we spent this year we spent a little over 300,000. We're projected to spend about 300,000, little over that. And next year about 466, just based on, we do have a salary in there. We have the business manager contract in there. And then there's been, we also supported the additional salary, which will actually, this one will go away. So we had supported that additional salary. So I've overestimated. I just caught that. I apologize. So I'm expecting us to be right under 400,000 again next year. And we are going to have, because our budget for this year was only put in for 1.4 million. However, we actually brought in 3.6 million this year. So wind is still in a really good position, and that will be helpful as we when we're dealing with the SB9 shortfall that we'll have in the future. So we want to definitely take that into consideration in the future when that SB9 money, that year that it's out, that we're not receiving it.
So I have two questions.
Sure.
Okay, earlier when we were talking about the SEG, now, what happens if you overestimate your budget? You can justify it, and they approve it, and you're given that spending permission from your SEG, and you don't use it all, then that's cash carryover?
Correct. Exactly.
Okay. So when you were going over the SEG, my question was this, and you said you hit some things hard. I guess, and I mean, I know we got to do what we got to do in light of the bond not passing. I get that. But I want to hit that. I want to hit the public school funding as hard as I can and save I hate for us to have to get into wind and set a precedent and having to use that money for wages and benefits.
Right.
I could see the state of New Mexico, and I know they're not supposed to, but I just know how our state is. I guess are we setting a precedent?
So the wind money, I mean, this is my opinion. When they look at our cash balances, they can't even look at they can't look at the wind cash balance because it's a special fund. That when they look at cash balances, operations is all they can look at from the state perspective. And so one of the things, I mean, wind really does have a lot of local control. And so there's a couple of things that we'll be probably bringing to you all fairly soon that with the wind generating so much this year, and will continue to generate over $1 million for the next, I don't know, like 15 years, I believe. It's like 1.5 million for the next 15 years or more. I really think we need to be investing a portion of that money so that we can look at the long-term perpetuity of those funds so that it's not just a 30-year thing or a 25-year thing, but that it truly does take this district much further. And we might want to even look at a policy around how that gets invested, kind of like a permanent fund, like the state has done to do so many of the programs they do, thinking about it in terms of kind of that long-term that it will continue to pay residuals for years and years to come, legacy type stuff beyond all of us.
And I agree with that completely. So based on the SEG, so help me understand why for what we're pulling out of wind for in this budget, why we don't want to ask for that in SEG.
Because we don't have enough. We only have enough cash carryover. Here we only have, with these expenses, this is not every single position. And that's why again, going back to, are we setting a precedence? Possibly. However, that's a local decision to say, this is an investment that we're making to ensure we can do right by our kids, even when our numbers fall. Because if your numbers come back up, yes, SEG can pick up that salary. But the numbers have dipped below 100 right now. And so I think WIND is a really appropriate way to ensure you don't lose the staff you need, the essential staff you need.
You said them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because what will our SEG be calculated on, the 150 day,
80 days.
80.
the 80 day?
It's averaged between 80 day and 120 day. That's why I don't have a solid number. I don't have a 910B5 right now, which is the document that like officially tells us this is what you're going to receive. This is right now still an estimate from the state.
But not enough to offset the number of kids we lost. So
Correct. That's correct.
Well, and the SEG is based on the program unit value.
Yes.
And the unit
Correct.
value is how much money they give you per
per
kid.
kid.
So you pretty much want everybody to show up on the ADM 120.
They also told us
Right.
today that our SEG had to be used for our letters manuals that cost $420 a piece.
Say what?
And plus, we had to use our SEG for our pre-K through 5 teachers to go through state mandated letters training, and each one of them has to have their own manual, and each manual costs $420.
Yeah, they're so they keep telling us everything's like all your instructional materials are in your SEG now. Everything's in your SEG, but they're not. I don't believe they're fully funding the SEG for all the mandates that are buried
Yeah.
in those rules.
Sounds another unfunded mandate. That's right.
Just like the 80/20 insurance, I don't believe that is fully covering it for small districts, especially.
And the way it
We could
reads,
talk to our legislators.
the way it reads is all pre-K through 5 will have to retake their letters training this year because it's a new program.
Okay, thanks.
How,
So
is
that's,
that a difficult thing for them to do,
it's a lot.
or it's just time consuming?
It's a lot.
And then scheduling, because they schedule the meetings like during the day. So then we'll have to call in subs to come coverage because the classes are like 4 hours long.
Right.
But they could be.
And then we also have to provide them $450 manual for each one.
All right, thanks, Vicky.
So we
So
are taking.
you're welcome. And so the other thing I just wanted to bring before you, because I didn't see it done last year. I worked on the salary schedules so that you all were aware of the supplementals that were provided, and that you knew what our level 1 certified teacher salary was. The way that we looked at the 1% average raise that was mandated, in visiting with Randa and really thinking through this, everyone's getting more money. But we reserved the 1% for those making less than 50,000 because they're already at the 80/20 for insurance. There's no benefit for us moving to that. They would see no difference in their paycheck. However, anybody over 50,000 will see significant increases in their paychecks for moving to the 80/20. Additionally, anyone on the salary schedule, as you know, they move up. So if they were at 0 years, they were brand new this year, and this was a level 1 teacher, they will move up to the next level. And in addition to that, we added 1 day. So I took their daily rate from last year, and the salary schedule itself did not change in terms of daily rates, but we added another day, and so they increased by that daily rate. Every salary schedule that's a certified teacher increased. If they are classified like the EAs, those included the 1% plus the additional day. So the salary schedule reflects that. And then same with our custodians, the food service workers, anybody who would be considered hourly. The substitutes did not change. However, we could entertain that, but we actually do have a fairly competitive daily rate for substitutes at this point. So this is what I wanted to propose in terms of salary schedules.
Okay, I have a question. We
Sure.
no longer have to move to a level 2 after our 3rd year of teaching as a level 1.
Takes micro credential courses now. They have 3 to 5 years. You can complete those micro.
About the 8.
Yeah, that's a good question. I just thought of that too. When you said that, I was like, why do we have 8 on there? You can't stay there. You can't stay at a level 1 past 5 years. So we can remove 6, 7, and 8.
Okay, I was just curious because I was like,
Yeah, no,
right, yeah.
yep, you're right.
Especially after we close these.
So
Right.
we have 2 national board certified teachers. Where does that
Yes.
extra money come from?
So that's buried in the SEG. So
Okay.
we are
It's in there, just
required by
find it.
law. They generate 1.5 units, and we have to turn around and pay that to them. So it's basically a flow through. It comes to the district, we turn around and we pay the teachers that have that national board certification. So it's the unit value times 1.5.
Do you not have to do the FTE report anymore?
No, we don't anymore. We have to just do that. We have a salary assurance that Randa will have to sign off on, that our salary schedule meets those minimums that are required. We don't have to do the individual staff reporting to prove that we gave them the 1% raise or anything like that anymore. Which is nice, because that was a very tedious report.
Yes.
But we do have to assure that our salary schedules, and these have to come before the board. The board has to approve these as well as part of the budget. So once the budget is approved, I will be sending out through Adobe Sign for the board to sign off that they did approve. We have to have every board member sign off on a document that says you did see the operating budget and you did approve it at a board meeting.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Any other questions?
Don't see any. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Need a motion?
Yep, we need to just.
All right, I move to approve our FY 26-27 school budget for state requirements as presented. I second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the school year 26-27 budget per state requirements as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right, discussion items. Pattern community dinner. What do they want now?
Dinner.
Just want to have,
They just want to use our facility.
yeah, and I told them, I said, we talked about not doing it. But they said, I said, the school's out of session, so I thought, I presented it to Randa. And she was, I said, I think we need to have a discussion about it. Because school's not in session.
What's your fear?
I don't think there is one. They wanted to do it in May before we got out, and I said, no, I just said no. So they want to do it in June, and I said, I gotta ask the board. I'm not gonna make that decision. I'm not gonna ask and say, can we use it? And so that's why I'm asking, is it okay? Do you think it's okay for us to use the school, the auditorium? Because we'll have to have the custodians help set up and that good stuff. Are they willing to pay to utilize the facility? I can ask.
Didn't we set something up? Tony.
No.
We've always paid Tony.
Who are they gonna get for the deal or?
I don't know.
That's.
I'm no longer being paid by Thunder, so they asked me, they just said, just put people elsewhere. You don't need to answer questions and that probably still will. Um, um, so they just asked if we could use the facility.
What's in the new policy we just passed?
Yeah.
So we didn't pass the one for, because I asked to review the application. Because there's an application status and then there's it wasn't ever decided on an amount for
Right.
that.
Okay.
However, what we do have is, I think it's only like a $50 deposit. Is that it? I think that's.
I think.
Yeah, it was it, yeah.
And if
And
that
we
would
never
got cleaned up, but
we
yeah.
never. I think one time. Cause I refused to give it back. It was so bad.
Well, I think with, of course, they're using water, they're using electricity, there will have to be cleaning, there'll have to be toilet paper, tables, I mean, there's costs associated with that.
Cover your janitorial.
I don't know what that number is.
You guys have a suggestion for that number? I agree, yeah, I think.
Well,
that's-
will you cover your
yeah.
janitorial, have 2 janitors? What would they make today?
What's their daily rate?
And I have all of that stuff up in my.
That's fine.
But.
Oh,
came with-
Got her finger up.
Oh, Vicky has it.
Hey, I'll be able to give it to you in just a second. Hold on.
Right.
It
Or
is,
water. I couldn't be, yep.
Yeah.
Where I was headed.
Yeah.
Gotta be at least 300.
Guys, this is $1 billion company.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yes, they have.
Yeah. I didn't see that in the.
Yes,
with
they have.
benefits, their hourly rate is right around $30 an hour
Wow,
with benefits.
$30 an hour.
So call it 8.
I would say, ask
There's
for
Right at 30, yeah, 31, right there.
to 1,000 to use our facility.
How much?
500 to 1,000.
Oh, I thought you said 500,000.
Well.
That's-
Yeah. The only question is. Are we charging that to people who hold funerals here?
Well, and that's something that,
No,
I brought to the board earlier in the year
Yeah.
was stuff like that.
so we're trying to get away from.
Yes, and so,
That would be a big deterrent here, $1,000.
one of the things that we talked about was, it not being during school hours. For sure, just,
See, and I told them
Not at all.
They don't
And
have to
then
do it.
they have to fill out an application
I just.
and a deposit.
I think it should be based on how the capacity of what is anticipated for the crowd. Because all of that goes into how much water, electricity, toilet paper, how many tables your janitors or whoever's gonna be, setting out and putting up.
Sacks of trash.
And we always,
Oh,
200 and 250. Tony always, that's
What
what
he
we
figured.
always figured 200 and 250.
They're just using the space so we don't have to cook the food.
No,
Oh.
no. Cause I told them, Tony's no longer here, you're
You're on your own.
on your own.
It doesn't.
I don't know what they're gonna do.
He does not.
Oh,
Yet. He said he's not prepared for that yet.
yes.
well, that's what I was wondering about about the banquet and all that other stuff. I was just wondering what he was gonna do.
Food trucks.
So anyway, that's my question. Cause I can get back to him. I told Sarah I would. Let her know.
What's too high?
388,000, whatever. Place it's in. Yeah. Yeah.
Too high in your mind? 5,000?
I mean, they can make a big donation.
Yeah.
They'll just let me keep using it.
Look at it and say, we've contributed a
Yes.
lot to this community.
That's what they're gonna,
We've,
I mean, and they,
but.
but they just gave the city how much to put a pickleball court in that is gonna sit there and very few people are gonna use, but that's my opinion.
I say
Sorry. Seth doesn't wanna have to take care of it either, does he?
what they're willing to contribute to use it. And then if they don't, they gotta hit at least 2,000. That's my mind. That's just my number. I don't know if anybody else has a different number.
I can ask. The worst they can say is no.
I mean, we ain't gotta worry about it. We seniors, yeah.
Facility.
And neither are planning to go on to.
I mean, what do you think?
The 2,000 minimum plus 1,000 for each senior in the scholarship.
They're gonna say we already paid you 50,000 for scholarships.
Is that what you're gonna say? Is that what, I didn't know.
Yeah, I think so, but I can ask.
It was $50,000 for scholarships.
Oh.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, we can negotiate this.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Cause their number might be higher than ours.
That's pretty cheap.
I know.
I- The convention
Yeah.
center in Morgan East more now.
Yeah, exactly. And we kind of have them over a barrel because they really don't have any facility, even their O&M buildings can't handle that kind of crowd. We're, you know, and the thing is, they need to,
They get it.
in my opinion, and Jeremy Turner's opinion, they need to do something for this community, like a dedication for the wind farm. Because if it wasn't for the landowners, there would be no wind farm. So that I think they're planning some dedications that landowners are not necessarily invited to. So I told them that's gonna leave really bad taste in everybody's mouth.
Well, they
You
can
guys
just
did
take them
something.
down. Take them.
So. Anyway, okay, I'll reach out. I'll let you guys know.
Right, anything else anybody wants to?
But we're okay with it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
consensus
Yeah.
is that,
I mean,
okay.
because the custodians are here, I mean, it's not like you have to.
Yeah,
call back.
they have a 12-month contract, so.
So,
Should
Do
be
we
fun
have
to
a,
do
do
every
we
summer.
have a good, riding lawnmower? Do we have a good,
That's,
like,
yeah.
How about they donate a riding lawnmower?
We have a purchase order for a riding lawnmower.
If they would pick that up, how much is that?
Oh, I don't really know.
$1,000 probably.
I don't remember. I think it was
Hey, you killed a cow, you owe us
more than 5, I don't think, because I was.
yeah, if they could use a new.
I mean, 'cause that's what you spend the money on anyway, so.
Drive it.
Just kidding.
You're the only one that'll drive?
Ben will,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah, I didn't think.
Plus legal expenses.
If you ever need somebody to drive, all you gotta do is call, hey, another one of us will come up with it. Or if you-
I don't mind. In fact, there was, somebody was walking around, or our tech guys were walking around one day and I was cruising it around and they were like, we didn't know that fell under your principal. Job description. I was like,
All right. Anything else? Vicky, you got anything else? Nope. All right.
Nothing else.
Anybody
Now the other work begins, getting it all into OBMS and all the paperwork filled out. So look for that coming in your email.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Good job, everybody.
I need a motion.
I just said we adjourn.
Seconds. All those in favor? Everybody? Aye.
Oh, and Vicky, we'll get these papers signed for the bank.
Okay, thank you.
So, where do I need to sign on this?
it should say school board.
Okay, it says Board of Education and Governing Board President signature required.
did you vote on that, Dermot?
Yes. Right there?
Being Reynoso.
Yes.